X-Men who try to marvel. Galactus behind the star of Aristotle. Thanos, the definition of space ghost. Use that of Warlock as my scapegoat. Now the son of Titan got the sun behind him. Wanna leave the world like a crumbled Mayan. From Captain America to Doctor Strange. Now I don't know what Norman Osborn did to my brain.
Hey, page turners, welcome back. This is episode number 14 of Longbox Weekly Comic Book Review, and this is where I talk about the books I love, hate, buy, and even leave on the shelf. Before I get started, I want to say thank you so much to LahRasa for sending in the artwork you've seen at the beginning of the video. I just want to say thank you so much for not making me a red shirt, because that means I lived through this episode. Any aspiring artists out there, if you've got a book that's been published, if you just want to show off your talents and your artwork skills, send it my way. Send me your book, I'll give it an honest review and include links for people to contact you and get their own copy. If you're just an artist, draw me as a superhero or a villain, superhero, supervillain, hero or villain, it doesn't matter. Just draw me as a hero or a villain doing something comical in this shop, and I'll make sure to include it as the first thing anybody sees in these videos. I just want to support independent artists. That's the most important part of the show. As most people know, that's my point. That's the whole point of the show, is to get more independent artists out there, more of their work known, and just, display a lot of talents that a lot of people overlook. So if you want to get your talents out there, your skills, your drawings, your sculpting, whatever it is, your creativity, send it my way and I'll do my best to give it the best display I can. With that being said, behind me you see Comic Explosion here in Lapeer, Michigan. We're located at 214 East Nipissing Street, and I'd love for you to come in, meet me, talk about some comics. I'd love for you to take part in some of these deals too, because most of these back issues behind me are 50% off, and all the trades and hardcovers are 25% off. So like I always say, stop in because I'd love to see you. As I mentioned in a previous episode of Longbox, Boxes in Action is putting out a new box, the Galactic Cafe, and I highly recommend you go to their Facebook page and you pre-order one of these, because as you can see, they've been printed and they're going to be shipped out here shortly. These things are going to go quick because they're amazing. These things are beautiful. So like I said, I highly recommend you going out and ordering one of these because they're going to go quick. Deadpool Kills Deadpool number 2. In this issue, we see a gathering of all the pools, and man, it really reminded me of that episode in Aqua Teen Hunger Force where all the villains get together and all the enemies of the Aqua Teen, and they're all just kind of bantering back and forth. We see some really cool renditions of Deadpool in this, and anybody that's a fan of Deadpool, you're gonna enjoy the comedy and all the essence of Deadpool that's in this title. With that being said, I do feel like that Deadpool Kills Deadpool should have been the beginning of the series. I feel like maybe it should have went Deadpool Kills Deadpool, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, and then the Deadpool Illustrated, because just everything kind of seems a little out of order, and you can't really see why it would all build up to this. I'm not exactly sure where the story is going, but I do recommend it for all the Deadpool fans out there. This is definitely a pickup. Hunger number 2. Now I know that I said I wasn't going to read this issue, but man, it really made up for issue number 1. We didn't see so much corniness and Rick Jones in this issue, and we got to see some Silver Surfer. This should have been everything that issue number 1 was, but I will have to say that after reading this and then going back and reading issue number 1, things did kind of feel a little bit better. So I have to take back, I shouldn't have been so harsh on issue number 1. The Galactus that we see in this issue is what everybody has been waiting for, and after I seen the Supernova, I prepaid for issue number 3. So this is definitely a pickup, so anybody out there that's wanting some Galactus in your life, definitely pick this issue up. Superior Carnage number 2. This creative team is doing an awesome job at keeping me interested in characters that I'm not too familiar with. My main concern with this title is, where's it going to lead with Cletus and the suit? Are we going to see an echo of what happened with Eddie and Venom? Are they going to be separated and the suit's given to somebody else? Because, anybody that's a fan of Carnage knows that Cletus and Carnage, that's peanut butter and jelly, bro. You can't separate it. So, I do like this story, but I'm kind of in fear as to, where this is going to lead to. I don't want to see that this be another, symbiote that just gets trashed and gets some corny, gimmicky story to kind of push sales. So, if you're a fan of Carnage, check this one out. If you have no idea who Carnage is, this is probably going to confuse you. Cyberforce number 5. The best thing about this book is that the first 5 issues were free. I don't really want to be that harshful on it, but man, the whole probability conversation in this issue made me want to paper cut my eyeballs and use salt water like Visine. It just, between the random dialogue that was useless and the dramatic posing, it just felt like this book was just full of useless stuff. The art wasn't bad, but it didn't tell a cohesive story. And like I said, without it being free, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. This is not the Cyberforce that I grew up with, and it's probably not the Cyberforce that you're going to expect. So if you're liking it, if you're reading this book and you enjoy it, feel free in the comments to tell me why, because I cannot find a reason other than the free price tag on this to pick this book up. Detective Comics number 23. Man, you know, much like Clark Kent with the glasses and all that, I know that, you know, Bruce Wayne has the secret identity of, you know, him being Batman and all this stuff. But it's so hard as a reader to read books where, you know, there's a conversation going on where one person is literally saying that Batman and Bruce Wayne are the same person, but they just haven't realized it. It's so hard to do that. And that's the one thing that kept pulling me back out of this book. But it was well written, the artwork was really good, and there were some really good scenes in it. However, I did think that the backup story with Man-Bat was much better than the main story, so if that's the only reason why you're going to pick up this book, then I highly suggest it just for the backup story. So, John, you're killing it on Shoe, you're killing it on this book, but I really didn't like this issue as far as the dialogue that was going on. So, I recommend this if you're a big fan of the Detective Comics, but this is probably one you could pass on. Emerald City of Oz, number 2. In this issue, we see Auntie Em and Uncle Henry wandering around Oz and Emerald City, just meeting their neighbors, meeting the occupants of Oz. And I gotta say that this is just comedy from beginning to end. If your kids are looking for something to read that's off the shelf, this is one that I highly recommend. This is probably even a good bedtime story book. So if you want to go out and track down any of the Road to Oz, Ozma of Oz, any of these stories that connect to this, I highly recommend this book, not just for the kids, but the adults as well. Walking Dead number 113. This issue was a page turner. I don't know if it was just because it took so long for this issue to come out and I just sped through it, or if it progressed that well. But man, this issue was just a solid issue. Again, this is not an issue that people are going to want to jump in on to figure out what's going on in this book. And, you know, newcomers, stay away. This is not where you want to be. But anybody that's been following this book, man, this is the episode issue. This is what you guys are wanting right here. And I wish that these characters were just like this in the TV show, because I feel like the TV show, it doesn't do this book justice. I feel like anybody that watches the TV show and then they come into the store and then they read these books, I feel like they just look at the TV show as like filler to watch until their new book comes in. So if you're not reading this book and you just watch the TV show, you're highly missing out. With that being said, the character Negan, however you want to say his name, I don't know if I want to hate this guy or like him. I mean, he's been put in some situations to where, you know, he showed that he's got brass balls, but at the same time, he's kind of been compassionate in some situations. And, you know, he just doesn't, he's not so quick acting like he seems to be. So with this issue, wow, you really get to see some sides of some people and some activity and actions that you're just not ready for, you know. This is a book that everybody should be reading. It should be on everybody's pull. So I highly recommend picking up this issue. X-Files number 3. Fans of the show are really going to fall into this book quite easily. People that have no idea what's happened in the show or any of the previous 9 seasons, you're going to be completely lost. This book revolves around Scully's lost child, I guess you could say, one that she gave away or hid, or I'm not sure. That's what the story is about, is what exactly happened to that baby. The biggest problem with this book, even though the characters are recognizable, the artwork seems just rough sketch. It doesn't seem finalized. And I really think that if there was an artist that, you know, not just somebody that was well known, but somebody that had a more dynamic art style, I think they would bring more attention to this book than what's already on it. So if you're a fan of the show, go out and pick this one up. If you're looking for something outside of the superheroes and all that stuff, pick this one up. If you're just interested to find out what's going on with X-Files, this one might be a little bit confusing for you. Deadpool number 14. Wow, where to start? I really didn't like this issue at all. It just seemed like it was too slapstick. Now I know the Crimson Comedian is known for being, you know, a slapstick. However, this was just way over the limit. It just completely went too far. So much so that I don't feel like there's even a story being told anymore. I don't feel like there's any outcome to the story, and it's just a random series of funny pages. If that's the case, lower the price a couple of bucks for me so that way I can afford to just pick up some funny papers, because I love your comedy, Brian, but the writing on this book, it just doesn't seem He doesn't seem true to the character. So with that being said, I don't think I'm going to be reading the next issue. I know my wife really loves Deadpool, and I know that she likes the character for completely different reasons than I do, and so may you, but this issue kind of turned me off. I had to take the Deadpool mask off and kind of, just finish the book in almost a sadness. So I'm going to have to say that anybody out there that's wanting to check out Deadpool, this is not the issue to inspire you to want to read more. Any Deadpool fans out there, this one's probably going to put you back a little bit because it's more other characters than it has anything to do with Deadpool. So I'm going to have to say this is definitely one you're going to want to leave on the shelf. Superior Spider-Man Team Up number 2. This is the beginning of sibling rivalry, and that's just what it is. Kind of. Kane shows up to talk with Peter, and he meets Spock. No, not that Spock, Doc Spider. And chaos just ensues. I mean, it's just from the beginning to the end, it's pretty much just action, knockdown, drag-out fighting, and the Vermin gets, his toys in there to play along as well. So this is definitely a recommended issue. This is one of those things that I've really been waiting for. I wanted to see some of that action. I wanted to see Doc Ock, Superior Spider-Man. I really wanted to see him fighting. I wanted to see his hand-to-hand combat, the way that he was going to protect himself and not just use all these gadgets. So with Kane on the case, maybe now more people are going to raise a little bit of an eyebrow and be like, whoa, dude, you're not Peter. You do not act like Peter, and something's up. So I'm going to recommend this issue for anybody out there that's wanting to know what's going on with, Scarlet Spider, Superior Spider-Man, or if you just want a good action-packed issue. This is definitely a pickup. Uncanny X-Men number 10. Man, this book is definitely off the pole. I cannot afford to be spending the money on a book that just does not go anywhere. I'm still dealing with the same dialogue, the same character problems, the same drama, the same storyline as I was in the first issue. This has taken way too long for the story to progress, even though I like the concept of this Messiah-like figure, these powerful mutants with their powers broken. I like this concept, and I like the New Mutants elements, but it's not going anywhere. You guys have taken 11 issues and done absolutely nothing with these characters or the storyline. So, like I said, this is off the pole. This is definitely one that I wouldn't say I hated it, but this is definitely one that's going on the shelf. Infinity number 1. Man, with the $5 price tag, all of the covers that they put out, they branched it into New Avengers and Avengers. Normally I would have ran for the hills, but I'm really digging the Thanos Rising, and I gotta say, that's the only reason why I picked up this issue, and I was pleasantly surprised. This book is going to encompass so much in the Marvel Universe. I really think it's going to have a lasting effect. There's just so much that takes place in this issue, and it builds for one hell of an event. I really don't think that I'm going to pick up the New Avengers and the Avengers issues unless there's something major that takes place, or I feel one issue there's not enough story told and I need to branch out into the other ones. I'm mainly just going to stick with the Infinity issues in this, but it's building. It's a really good read, and this is definitely one that I normally in this circumstance would say, avoid this one, but this is one that I really recommend, so go out and pick this one up. Spawn 234, or better known as Spaunt number 1. Now, really, as a fan of Spawn and Haunt, I gotta say that I probably would have done this kind of merging of the two books a little bit different. I really didn't like how it was just kind of door jammed in there. I didn't like I didn't like the killing off of the character in the book. I feel like that character could have been better used, later on. But as a fan of Haunt, I really feel like the background of Haunt, the story that's been told with Haunt, wasn't highlighted at all. Now, I know that there's issues to come to tell the story of Haunt, but I really feel like there could have been a little bit more justice done with that. I really feel like you guys could have touched down and told more, I guess you could say, more story about Daniel leading up to this, than just putting him there in a situation where he really was kind of, like a sore thumb sticking out. But I gotta say that this is everything that you want as a Spawn fan. As a new reader, somebody that doesn't know about Haunt at all, and you're a Spawn fan, or just somebody that doesn't know about Haunt or Spawn whatsoever, this is a good jumping on issue because it builds. It sets a tone for, what this book really is. Everything that's known about Spawn, everything that's known about the suit, everything that's building up, it's all contained in this issue, and it's awesome. The only problem was the whole introduction of Haunt. It's kind of a little awkward, and I don't know if that's because I was such a big fan of the book before they had canceled it and brought it into this one, and I'm kind of being a little resistant, but I'll give it time. I want to say it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'm not going to harsh on it. You know, it was a solid issue all around. You know, art-wise, writing-wise, lettering-wise. Man, Tom, page 4, that conversation was just the way it's lettered. I haven't seen you do anything like that in a book since issue number 200. So I gotta say, man, awesome job. You're kicking ass, just like the rest of the team on Spawn. So go out, pick this book up if you're just interested in it. If you're a fan of Spawn, if you're a fan of Haunt, if you just were inspired by this review of just to go check it out and see what's going on, pick it up, check it out, read it, borrow it, do something. Just check out Spawn, man. You won't be disappointed. Saga, issue number 13. Now, when I first read this book, I was kind of a little, I felt like taking a step back in time and telling a different story than where we left off in issue 12, I kind of felt like that wasn't, what I wanted to have in an issue. However, taking into account that there's a lot of new readers coming on, there was such a long break that happened between 12 and 13 that they kind of had to take a step back. They had to introduce you to these characters and kind of set you in the moment again as to what was taking place. The emotions, the vibes everybody's feeling, and just, what you can expect from this book. Now, I know that it didn't have, 30-foot testicles and, random rape scenes on computer screens, but this was a really solid issue. This is an issue that if there's anybody out there that's wanting to check out Saga, pick this book up. Pick this issue up and just check it out because you're not going to be disappointed. This is one of the books that's right up there on the need-to-buy list. If you're not checking out Walking Dead, Saga, you're probably missing out on some of the greatest stories that are being told right now in comic books. So, with that being said, get you some Saga because you are missing out. Venom number 39. This issue really had some awkward events. I'm not sure I really like how they're taking the symbiote and doing some random crazy things with it. It's just becoming a little too chaotic, and it's just not the Venom I'm used to. At this point, I feel like they could have just taken Venom, created a new symbiote from the Venom, and then given that to Flash Thompson, and then all of that would have made more sense than the Venom suit doing what it did in this issue, because this was really out there. I've never seen this take place, and many of you probably haven't either. So this is a book that I'm going to have to say I'm just not digging Venom. I love the character Venom, but this book is really kind of tainting the essence of what Venom is to most people. So unless you're going to bring back old Venom and stop doing this crazy stuff, or at least give me another storyline that I can enjoy the old Venom in, I'm going to have to drop this one off my plate. Batman and Robin 23. This issue is pretty much an homage to Batman Incorporated number 8, The Death of Damian Wayne. This issue was amazing. I really, really enjoyed this issue. I haven't enjoyed the Batman and issues the last 5 or 6, however many they've been doing since Damian's passed. But this issue, man, it really kind of, it hit on the emotional strings. There's a lot of turmoil and inner demons going on in this issue that I really feel like needed to be expressed. Even though the Batman Incorporated events really didn't connect too much in continuity with what's going on in the New 52, this one really kind of brings it together. It really kind of, gives you a look into the mind of Bruce and those around Bruce that have lost Damian, and the impact it really actually is having, that people just haven't really seen inside these characters' minds, and they've just seen the events that have taken place in the books. So I highly this episode, this is the issue out of everything that I recommend the most, because it's very emotional. It's such a good read, so definitely go out and pick this one up. Dexter, issue number 2. Anybody that's a fan of the TV show, this book, you're just going to hear the dialogue and the character voices straight from the show as you're reading it. This is so much more closer to the TV show than the first issue was, that I really think that anybody that's familiar with Dexter, loves the show, or just wants to get introduced to the character, you're going to love this issue. So I highly recommend you picking this one up. Superior Spider-Man number 16. This issue picks up right after number 15, and everything just starts going right to chaos as soon as you open up the pages. This book, I cannot tell where this is going to lead. I know they say that they're not going to be bringing Peter Parker back. I know that they say Spock Spider, Dr. Ock, Doc Spider, whatever you want to call him. I know they say he's here to stay, but man, there's so many things that are taking place that really just, it shouts to everybody around. I mean, anybody that's ever even seen Spider-Man or Peter Parker, it just shouts to them that this is not Peter. This is not the Amazing Spider-Man, and everything is so changed. So I believe that's what's really keeping me intrigued by this book. In this issue, we see all the events that led up in issue 15 with the Hobgoblin. It all comes to a boil in this one, and it ends so very unexpected. So I'm going to say, if you're digging this book, rush out, pick this one up, because you're not going to be disappointed. Heman and the Masters of Universe, number 5. This issue was just a great read. The first page, it made me feel like everything in this book was just going to be a textbook, and I was going to read basically a history exam of Eternia. I was actually mistaken. This book set up a lot of really cool elements for future points in the story. It tied up a lot of stuff from even when I was a kid in the cartoon that just never made sense, things that didn't add up. It connected a lot of them, and it builds such a larger story with this issue that, if you're a fan of He-Man, definitely this is the issue that's going to bring you into this book. It's going to bring you into this title, and definitely going to put it on your poll. So I recommend picking this up. Alright guys, that's it for all this week's books. Actually, that's the last 3 weeks' books, I believe, I want to say. Sorry it took me so long to get around to doing this episode. I've really been trying to get around to do the subscriber give back contest, which will be the video that's going to be coming up for my 100th video, which will be next. So with me working on that, trying to get this done, trying to read these books, trying to edit the video, some of the stuff became obsolete. You can't have an episode that says, thank you to my 300 subscribers when you've got 360 subscribers. So, like I said, I had to kind of go back to the drawing board here and there. So, like I said, this episode, it took a while to get out, but instead of a weekly episode, you got a monthly episode, so you got to see a lot of reviews on some books. So I hope you're still around. I hope you're checking it out. You guys didn't leave yet, and I didn't bore you to death. But if you've watched my earlier episodes, you guys know that I'm a big fan of Garbage Pail Kids and all that. Garbage Pail Kids started out as a wacky package. And my son picked these up the other day for me. They're Wacky Packages erasers. And I believe you get 3 erasers and stickers in this pack. So I figured I'd open these up, pay some love to some Garbage Pail Kids and, just in general. So the first one we got in here it's Creeps. I don't know if you guys can see that. Focus in. There you go. And that is an eraser. Then we got Dits. See that there? I'll focus in. There we go. Dits crackers. Up next we've got Prickles. Prickles. That's pretty cool. Alright, and then we've got, let's see what we got in here. We got some stickers. We've got the Creep sticker. We got the Dit sticker. And we got the Prickles sticker. And like I said, Wacky Packages is where Garbage Pail Kids first made their debut. It was, instead of Cabbage Patch Kids, it was basically a take, just like, Prickles off of Pringles, Garbage Pail Kids. So, with that being said, I would actually like to open up some new Garbage Pail Kids Chrome. And these just came out, and it took a while to get these, so there were a couple of things that made, the time go by, and, I was trying to get a lot of this stuff together so I could make this video for you guys and, give you some entertaining footage. And, this is one of them, and the other thing, my son's going to join me in a minute to open up and show you guys. But this is the bonus box, and what it is this is the 1985 original series, but they're just all chromed out. You only get 4 cards per pack, and I believe it's $2.99 a pack, which is a little ouch, but that is very, very close to what it was back when we were kids. So it's kind of nice to have that. In these boxes, you get 7 packs and 1 exclusive X-Fractor pack. Here's the difference in the packs. It says X-Fractor on it. Alright, so I'm just going to jump into these because I don't have much battery time and I want to make sure that I get the other thing done. So, alright, first First slab down, guys. Alright, we got Weird Wendy. Hey, see those? They're like chromium covers for comic books, so. Weird Wendy. We got Junkie Jeff. We got Anna Banana. We got Lizard Liz. These things are like, they're mirror finish. I mean, they're really, if you can see how thick the cardstock is. Alright, that's the first slab. Slab number 2. I gotta hurry through these, man. Gotta hurry. I feel like a kid. I remember doing this when I was in elementary school. New series would come out and I'd be like, oh, I gotta get them. Jenny Genius. My wife's gonna like that one. Sorry about the glare on these, but there's nothing I can do. They're chrome. What is it? It's Dead Flora. And I mean, these things are so foil, it's ridiculous. Prickly Pete. Is that Green Jean? It's like a mirror. I mean, these things are just ridiculous in nature. But it's really cool to have these original cards. You know, like my son, he didn't grow up with them, and he always hears me talking about them. He sees me getting packs and, you know, all that stuff. So it's really cool to be able to show them to him, so that way he can be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. You know, I didn't get to see that when I was a kid, so he gets them now. Got Rappin' Ruth, Fry and Brian, some sketch art card. My battery's gonna die. Grape Ivy. Mad Mac. I finally got him. There we go. 3 packs. Oh man, my battery is bleeping. So if this dies, when I'm in the middle of it, I'll save it and I'll get home, I'll plug it in, and we'll finish shooting the rest of this at my house. Because, you know, I've still got that unboxing. So, Creepy Carol. Nasty Nick. Smelly Mel. Mauled Paul. I feel like that thing's gonna cut off, man. And if any audio cuts off in this, my camera has this tendency to randomly end the video, so Keith out. Electric Bill. Arachnid. Stormy Heather. 2 packs left, guys. I wonder if I can get some more battery. It's going down pretty quick. Coming for me, guys. I gotta hurry. Vaporized Val. That's kind of sick. Virus Iris. Another sketch art. Upchuck. Graffiti Petey. It's the last slab. Dressy Jesse. Looney Lenny. You guys will remember this one from one of the glow-in-the-dark cards from the other set. Guillotina. And Libby Stick. Alright, let's see if we can open up this last refractor pack before it goes out, and we're definitely going to have to continue this last video at the homestead with the unboxing of the last thing. So, we got Thin Gin, Atomic Refractor. You guys can see it's all checkerboard. Wrinkled Randy. Scrawled Saul. Bad Brad. That was one of my favorite books, or cards as a kid when I was in school, because I just wanted to destroy my textbooks. I hated school. So, alright guys, that's it for the GPK. 7-8 slabs down, and you know, we're going to add this to the collection, and after this, we're going to get into the unboxing of Loot Crate. And if you don't know what Loot Crate is, you're about to get schooled. So thank you guys so much for watching, and it's time for me and the son to get to work here. Hey guys, welcome back. As I said, we had another unboxing, and this is my son Damien here. You want to say what's up to everybody?
Hi.
What we have here is Loot Crate. If you guys don't know what Loot Crate is, you guys are about to find out what's going on. This is actually a subscription service where it's roughly about, say, $13 a month if you pay monthly, and then it's about $113 for 6 months of service. And what it is you get this crate each month shipped to you, and inside contains a plethora, that was my 50-cent word for the day, a plethora of items that is sure to ignite the geek inside you. So once I found out about it, I figured this would be an awesome gift to give my son. He loves pop culture. He loves a lot of the stuff that's, you'd go into a lot of these media stores and stuff, and would be, the more known things, whereas I have no idea what most of the stuff is, and he kind of fills me in.
Yeah.
So he's my connection to this generation of things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut into this, so that way he can go through them. And like I said, we got the Loot Crate here, so you guys can go to lootcrate.com. This month's Epic Mega Loot Crate.
Oh.
Every month they actually have a Mega Loot Crate, which is basically this type of thing, but just elaborate. Like they have some crazy stuff, and
like really big.
That's what they gave away in this Epic Loot Crate. It's the portal gun and the Half-Life 2 0-point energy field manipulation.
That is
gun.
awesome.
So yeah, that'd be awesome if we actually won it. So
yeah.
There's a congratulations. What's your photo in next month's issue? So I'm guessing that this right here is going to be, this is the first issue. That's exactly issue number 1 on the front there.
Okay.
So each month they're going to be giving these out, which is cool.
Yeah.
All right. First up, we have the Caffeine Power Up T-shirt. All right, you want to show that off to the screen there?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can read that or not there. But let me see, what does it say here? It says C8H10N4O2, energy +10, stamina +4, and sleep -500.
That was exactly.
All right,
me
caffeine was the primary power-up that fueled out many late nights and long weekends here at Loot Crate over the last year. Also, we included some of the most novelty caffeinated infused goodies in our crates, like Poon Gum, Perky Jerky, and Mario Energy drinks. This shirt lets you roleplay in real life. Just remember to sleep eventually. All right, up next we have the lanyard, the Aperture Laboratories lanyard.
Oh, cool.
Which this will be good for him to put his house keys on, so that way he doesn't lose them again.
Yeah, or my school ID or something like that.
Maybe that's what happens to your maybe your school ID, but maybe that's what happens to your house keys all the time.
You always
put them in the wrong portal and you can't remember where you left the other portal at. All right. Added on top of that, we have the Aperture Laboratories Test Subject Wristband. So this is one of those little rubber, kind of like the testicular cancer and breast cancer rubber armbands, but this is from Aperture Laboratories. All right. Up next, we have the Aperture Laboratories temporary tattoo.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looks like you're totally Aperture Laboratory'd out. And then up next, we have the AMC's Walking Dead Mystery Mini. Okay. So after that, before we open that one up, we're actually going to go into the rest of the stuff. We have a Loot Crate sticker set, which this is what they want to do the contest with. You got to come up with some creative way of using these stickers, which
I
who
know
knows?
an
Maybe
easy
we'll
way.
come up with something. If he could come up with an idea, Dad can always shoot it and edit it. So.
I got a disfigured bag.
A disfigured bag? Actually, I don't think it's disfigured. I think it's just made like that. So that way you can't crush it. They're using geometry and using it. You want to have a first taste test of jelly beans on here?
I guess, yeah.
Come on. Oh, what color are you getting here? You going with yellow?
Yeah.
Alright, what's it taste like?
Lemons.
Lemons? Alright, I'm going to go with the green speckled one here. Tastes like juicy pear. Awesome. So if you guys don't know about Jelly Bellies, you have no idea what you're missing out. These are yours. I don't want to munch on too many of them because I'll eat the whole thing, like a handful of them. I highly recommend checking out some Jelly Bellies because it's just not a jelly bean unless it's a Jelly Belly. So, all right. Oh, we got one more thing in here.
Oh.
And what is this? We got Shirt Hoot. $5 off. Take $5 off your purchase of $15 or more at shirthoot.com. Take your pick and enter this code. So I'm going to actually blur that out so I can show you guys. There you go. And that's what they sent in there. So, I mean, all together you get your shirt, you get your lanyard, you got your wristband, you got your temporary tattoo,
Oh,
you got
like grass.
$5 off. little jelly bellies. So right around, you're right around with this. I would honestly say you're right around about $30-$35 as far as, actual total of everything. Maybe less. I'd say just to be, right in that area of ballpark. I'd say about $30 for what was enclosed in this box. So you really can't beat it for the price. You know what I'm saying? If you really like pop culture, you want to get some cool things that you normally wouldn't just randomly go out and buy, but you might be interested in once they come in, I highly suggest checking out Loot Crate. So, here, let me cut this open real quick, and don't worry, son, I'm a trained professional with these scissors. The ancient art of blunt end scissors. Somehow I actually got those to stick into a chalkboard when I was a kid, so that's a story for another day.
I tried a green and brown one. Tastes like grass.
Oh, yum. All right, let's see what we got in there. Who are you hoping for? Who you hoping for? Who are you hoping for out of the show?
Oh, that a glow in the dark one.
You're hoping for a glow-in-the-dark one?
A fat one or skinny one?
I want a fat one or a skinny one. That pretty much narrows it down. Those are the ones you can get to, so go ahead and open her up, see what we got. I'm hoping you got a Dixon. A Dixon brother would be really cool to have. This is my brother Daryl, and my other brother Merrill, and my other brother Merrill. Daryl, and Merrill. What do you got? The anticipation's coming.
Oh!
What do you got?
Okay, if anybody knows The Walking Dead, the first season, you will know who this is.
Oh, wow! That's really cool!
It's the girl with the
That's
small
awesome.
teddy
Let me
bear.
see. Let me see. I'm going to open her up out of the package here.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I got to honestly say that if there was any one of these that I would personally want, other than the Dixon Brothers, it would be this one, because that is, you're right, buddy, that is a very iconic moment from the, wow, those scissors were like dull. That is a very iconic moment from the show.
That's like the first
Get up in
like
this
episode.
business here. Look
First
at that.
zombie.
It's pretty crazy. Got the blood on her, little teddy bear. Pretty neat. I gotta say that with the technology of that 3D printing and all that stuff, man, there's been a lot of these type of vinyl type figures that have been coming out. But I gotta say that I really like these ones. These ones look really kind of happy, creepy, and just these are awesome, man.
Yeah.
So let me see what those are called. It's the The Walking Dead AMC Mystery Mini Blind Packs. So yeah, definitely check these out, man. This is.
You can show the back and see what.
Oh yeah. Good idea, buddy. So you got the crawler, you got Meryl, the girl, a Walker, Daryl, Fat Chubby. I don't think there's really any majorly known characters. So.
Yeah, just zombies mostly.
Well, that's weird. What's up with that? There's a.
Yeah.
Why did they have them repeated on there? That's okay. One downside is whoever did the actual packaging.
Every single one's 224.
You got Daryl on there twice. You got Meryl on there twice. Yeah.
It's probably a different version of them.
They look pretty same. They might be different.
see.
You're right. Okay. Look for rare glow and blood splattered versions.
See, I told you.
There we go. So yeah, this one has a little bit of blood on it. I'm not sure if you could actually. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, I see. That one definitely has a lot more blood on it than that one. Yeah. Okay. So that's what's going on. You got glow in the dark versions of these and blood splattered versions. So.
Mostly.
But yeah, that's really cool. I have to say that out of everything, this is probably the coolest thing in my opinion. He's probably down with the shirt because he loves those really cool shirts. So, what do you got to say about Loot Crate, man? You happy that you got Loot Crate? I mean, is this something cool? You suggest this to some of your friends at school, or?
It's awesome if you like video games a lot.
Video games and comic books and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be starting school here soon. You're gonna go back to school and tell everybody about your Loot Crate.
Yeah. Whoa. Wait. Oh, there's a code. I thought that was.
There's a code in the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's just funny.
Yeah, when life gets you down, just enter that code.
It's a cheat code.
Up, down, left, right, BA, enter.
It's a real life cheat
You
code.
get more guys. So, all right. With that said, guys, you know, I'm definitely I highly recommend checking out Loot Crate. You know, but thank you for checking out this week's reviews. I know that there was quite a few books, so, you know, like 3 weeks worth of books that I had to review. But there's a reason for it. I wanted to make sure that, you know, I got the GPK Chrome, the Garbage Pail Kids Chrome. I wanted to make sure that I had that stuff to share. I wanted to make sure that Loot Crate came in, so I wanted to have a good amount of stuff to show. And not to mention, LahRasa, man, she drew that awesome Star Trek art for the intro. And like I said, I'm glad that I lived through this whole episode. So, you know, thank you guys so much. And like I said, the next video number 100 is going to be the 360 plus subscriber give back. I don't want to call it a contest because it's not really a contest, it's more of a give back, but there are contest elements towards it, so if that makes any sense. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching this episode, and you know what, there's nothing left to show off other than the cool stuff that he's got. So I'm going to be sitting like in the kitchen, and all of a sudden a portal is going to open up and then Damien's going to come falling through like, is it dinner time? So but thank you very much, buddy, for you know, opening this up, and hopefully, you know, next month will come a lot quicker, and we'll be able to show off another box. So if you guys, you know, if you like Loot Crate, you know, give us a thumbs up. If you like GPK, give us a thumbs up. If you liked any of the books I talked about, give us a thumbs up. Please feel free to leave any comments, you know, suggestions, and make sure to share and like this video, please. That really helps because it gets the video out there to a couple more people, and the more people that watch this, the more feedback I can get, and the more I can converse with you guys and give you more content that you guys are going to like. So, with that being said, thank you very, very much, and we will see you next time.